7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Manchester
1,
United have
0.
reached the promised land.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, the 17th of August, and all we want is a nice, quiet 24 hours as Manchester United. Maybe not quiet, maybe just a bit of a normal 24 hours as a Manchester United fan. The club at the moment, it feels like a bit of a parody. The things that we are reading, the things that we are seeing on and off the pitch, it's almost unbelievable. And Elon Musk, I'm glad I was asleep when this happened, I'll be honest. Elon Musk tweeting that he's buying Manchester United only to immediately say he's joking, has brought the ownership into the spotlight. This video is not going to be about me waxing lyrical about Elon Musk and how he's going to take over Manchester United, but it is going to be about me using what Elon Musk has done there in casting a further spotlight on the ownership of the club, on the Glazers, and how that can be used as positive energy going forward. It feels a bit different this summer. It really does. I've already got a video prepared and recorded that's going out at lunchtime today, which I consider probably the most important video that any United fan can watch on the Glazers. That'll be going out at lunchtime today. I'll also probably be doing a video tomorrow on why I think, and it's not just a thought. There's a lot of evidence, in my opinion. There's a lot of connecting dots towards the fact that I think the Glazers are preparing to sell Manchester United, or at least preparing the idea of selling Manchester United. Once upon a time, that was a fairy tale, almost a fantasy from fans, and it was just pressure from fans. But now there's smoke. That's what I think so anyway. But look, good morning to everybody down here. And I can see you in the comments. Jason, Save the Jungle, Gabor, good morning to you. Who else we got down there? We've got Matt, we've got Rene, Cordell, Desmond, lots and lots of you. Ken as well. There are obviously lots of new members yesterday, or the absolute G that he is gifting 50 memberships. One absolute Don. But look, there's something I want to say here before I dive into this, and we speak about the Elon Musk situation, those tweets, and the meaning that we can take from that. There's something that I want to say about a video that I did yesterday. So yesterday I did a video on the Cristiano Ronaldo situation. And you'll know full well that I feel very strongly about this Ronaldo situation, what I think it means for Manchester United, and how it's not sitting right with me whatsoever. But I do think with this Ronaldo video, I think I went a little bit further than I kind of normally do. And this is why I've decided to do this. Quite a few people, I don't need to name any names. Quite a few people have messaged me directly about it. And I think you were right. I think what I did yesterday, which wasn't my normal style, is I effectively accused United fans of not being United fans because of their take on Ronaldo. I think that was wrong. So what I've decided to do is just take that video down. Because, yeah, my integrity is quite important to me. I don't just want to spout shit out and not be pulled up on it. So what I've decided to do is just put that video to private. I still feel exactly how I feel on the Ronaldo situation. That won't change, but I don't think it's really up to me to sort of completely and utterly define how people want to be United fans. Look, I still feel exactly how I feel in that video. Not in the fact that I'm telling United fans how to be United fans, but it's just that I don't understand how people are putting the how happy Ronaldo is ahead of how happy the club is. And that's what I feel. I feel like I was kind of, I don't know. It's such a tough situation. And right now, I'll tell you what, just United fans, everyone's on the edge. Everyone's close. Everyone's like beyond frustrated, really. And the Ronaldo situation was, I don't like it. I really don't like it. It's not sat right with me at all. But I'll tell you what, I'll move on from it. And I want to focus on, I don't want to focus on the idea of Elon Musk buying Manchester United, because he won't buy Manchester United. But the reason I decided to take that video down is genuinely, I do listen to what you say. I do listen to what people think. And I take it all into account. It's not just about my opinion is the most important at all, right? But we'll leave it like that. Let's move on to this last night. As I said, I'm glad I was asleep when this happened. 1 in the morning, UK time. Elon Musk being Elon Musk. Breaking Twitter, basically, saying that he's buying Manchester United, only for him to quickly, what was it, 4.5 hours later, say, no, this is a long-running joke on Twitter. I'm not buying any sports teams. And that's put that to bed, only for him to half an hour later say this. Although if it were any team, it would be Manchester United. They were my favourite team as a kid. Now, I'm not here to try and argue and do a video on why Elon Musk would be a better owner than the Glazers. I'm not here to suggest that, oh, maybe he's actually going. No, it's not. He won't be, right? Elon Musk is not going to be buying Manchester United. But what this does is just bring a big, huge magnifying glass and put it on the ownership of Manchester United. Power, you're down there saying, look, Elon likes, but yeah, Elon does like publicity. He doesn't really need publicity, but he loves it. And in this situation, I think we can use it as a bit of benefit, right? We can use it as a bit of benefit because it does cast further spotlight on the Glazers' ownership of Manchester United. And in the same way that Michael Knighton, and I'll speak about the Michael Knighton situation in a little bit, in the same way that cast a bit of spotlight onto it, I think Elon Musk doing that is going to cast further spotlight onto it. Now, I've got no doubt that the share price of Manchester United is probably going to fly up another 10, 15% in pre-market trading and when the New York Stock Exchange opens. I'm not particularly too fussed about that. When it comes to billionaires buying businesses, they don't do it based on the share price in terms of what the price is on the day. They'll take that share price over the period of previous 5 years and over the period of what will be expected in the next 5 years. It's a bit like when Elon Musk was trying to buy Twitter. He gave a way over market value for Twitter because he's rich as shit. But I know he's not buying Manchester United. And I'm not getting giddy and hyped up here about the idea of him buying Manchester United because I do not think that will happen. But I do 100% think that it furthers the conversation that we're all having. It furthers the idea of a new owner of Manchester United. It puts more pressure on the ownership of the club, on the Glazers. And as I said, this Michael Knighton situation, well, you've all seen what's been developing. From him threatening to sue Stephen Housen on Twitter, some weird spat that was. I had no idea. It was childish. I had no idea what it was. And I publicly said to him, look, I'd like to invite Michael Knighton onto United People's TV for an interview. I said, look, the idea of a consortium removing the Glazers is great, but without facts and figures, I don't think that any Manchester United fan can really get behind anything that Michael Knighton's doing. Now, Michael Knighton's not responded to this. He's not responded to the DM I sent him on Sunday before all the Stephen Housen stuff kicked off. Yeah, I've heard nothing from him. And I won't give it any more airtime until I have an interview with him. Now, people in the comments and people on Twitter are like, Sam, look, he's given an interview to United Stand. Or blah, 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 blah. It's such a fluffy interview. It's such a lovely set of questions. It's not an interview which asks the questions which need to be asked. And I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. I don't want to read an interview that he's done somewhere else. I want to get Michael on camera, face to face, and have a conversation with him. Interview him directly. I'm not going to be looking at any latest videos. I'm not going to be looking at anything that Michael Knighton does until he comes onto either United, until he comes somewhere and gets interviewed and the right questions are asked. Okay? Because otherwise he's just taking United for a ride. He's taking us all for a ride. I'm not saying he is, but without any sort of information, it kind of looks like that. But yeah, I've told you I wasn't going to speak about Elon Musk that much. Fitness Balance, I see you there joining as a member. Let me know where you're watching from. Elon Musk isn't buying Man United, but I don't consider it a negative thing that he's put that out in the public domain. You might say, Sam, here we go. It's just another. So United, we're a joke. We are a joke. It feels genuinely what's happening this summer feels like a bit of a parody. It really feels like a parody. I'm going to get onto the transfers next. It, you're looking in as a United fan, and you're in disbelief at what's happening. Like it's self-sabotage by the club and the way we're acting. Or, on the other hand, maybe Manchester United, maybe the Glazers are preparing to sell. As I say, I think there's a lot of the way I would describe this, right? I don't want to pull their picture up on screen for too long, but let me please explain this situation. The Glazers have effectively they've had a strategy of ignorance. They've had a strategy at Manchester United whereby they don't invest, and they've been using the previous legacy of Manchester United as the buffer that's driven their growth. And that's worked for them for a long, long time. But it's now reached a point where that strategy doesn't work for the Glazers. Our commercial growth has stagnated for 5-6 years in a row. The Glazers now can't just make money off Manchester United's previous legacy. And that's why I think something is changing at the moment. That's why I feel that there's energy for the Glazers to actually sell, because it's not just coming from Manchester United fans being pissed off and wanting the Glazers out. I think from a business perspective, from their perspective, the value of Manchester United from this point on, without serious investment, is just going to go downhill. And therefore, they're at a point where I feel that a conversation has to be had about that investment or that sale. And I don't think that investment's coming. And therefore, I genuinely feel that a conversation about a sale is a genuine possibility. That's what I think so anyway. Now, you might disagree with that, Matt. That's what I feel. Stigo, didn't Michael Knight do an interview released yesterday answering all those questions? I've seen a written interview. I've not seen an interview with Michael on camera, and I don't care about written interviews. I want a written interview is something that you can have a little bit more control over, a little bit more control about what you say and how you say it. I want to speak to Michael directly on camera. It's really important that United fans aren't just taken for a ride here. It's very easy to take us for a ride at the moment because, because we are a bit of a parody. Matt, you're joining as a member. Let me know where you're watching from. Asad, thank you very much, man. Lots of you joined in on the stream yesterday. It was wicked to be able to do that live on the stream together. Oh, but Carl, that's exactly what's going out today. I've already recorded it. It's going to be going out probably quite soon after this video. And it's the financial video, which is a full breakdown of Swiss Ramble's brilliant thread on the Glazers and how their ownership has been the straitjacket that suffocated the life and the ambition out of Manchester United. I'm going to be doing that. I'm also going to be doing probably a video tomorrow on why I feel the Glazers could be preparing to sell Manchester United. I've released a video on the channel. I don't care if it's on the channel that he did previous interviews with. That's a safe environment for him. I'm not going to be listening to anything like that until I can speak to Michael Knighton directly and I can ask questions and also chirp in and say, well, hold on, well, what about this? Let's look. Maybe I'll go and listen to it after. I'll see what he says, but I want him to come on and speak to me, or come on and speak to Stephen Howard. Speak to an environment which is not completely and utterly safe for him, and therefore the right questions can be asked. But whoa, man. Seriously, Manchester United this summer, I think it was, they always say it's the hope that kills you, right? And we all went into this summer with such optimism. Real optimism. Nick, you're down there saying, look, it's decent. Okay, I'll go and I'll watch it. I'll go and watch it after this and then I'll come back on it. But we all came into this season, this summer, with genuine optimism, not just like misplaced optimism, about Erik ten Hag, about what could happen going forward, about having the right coach and having the right manager. And it's sad, really, how quickly that's dissipated and just been taken over by this ultimate sense of panic, which is now enveloping the club. It's crazy. Now, you'll know what my reaction was after the Brighton game, when within the space of 24 hours, we were linked with Arnautovic and Rabiot. Now, the Arnautovic situation, I did a video immediately. We all felt the same. And Man United, within 72 hours, have pulled the handbrake on that one. It's almost like they didn't do their research before they went in. It was never a right deal. And the Rabiot situation is something I felt quite strongly about. Given how many circuses and how many of the wrong attitudes we've had in our football club over the years, I felt Rabiot wasn't the right person to be going after. And lo and behold, last night, we found out that the Rabiot deal has, well, it's died. Fabrizio Romano here saying that Juventus have received Manchester United a message from Manchester United. The deal is completely off and won't change. Manchester United had the intention to pay a record salary and also a huge signing fee. I don't know whether they're talking about Rabiot there directly or whether that's going to be all players, but I'm fine with the Rabiot not joining, but it just, again, it plunges us into a position where panic is really, really settling in. And I've never seen more of a panic than the idea here that Manchester United are going to skip from Adrien Rabiot and we're going to go and sign Casemiro. I mean, what the fuck? And this is from Jason Burt and Sam Wallace from The Telegraph. This is Paul Hurst from The Times over here. Casemiro's face there is my reaction to this Casemiro story. Seriously, what in the world are we doing? There's no chance that Casemiro's coming to Manchester United. Like, absolutely no chance. And I'm staggered. I don't know whether this is just agent talk pushing it, and it's not Manchester United at all. Because if you look at the players, and as I say, if you look at after the Brighton game, we had Arnautovic, we had Rabiot. There was like 3 or 4 other players that we were linked with straight after that. And now after Brentford, we've had like Cunha, we've had João Felix, we've had Casemiro, we've had Caicedo, we've had Neto from Wolves. It's been mad. It's been mad, but Man United are really panicking. Now, of course, this is a direct consequence of our extended chase for Frankie de Jong, which still hasn't finished. I don't think that's going to stop until deadline day. So I think we've still got 2 weeks left of the de Jong situation. I don't think United will walk away from it until time runs out. But the Casemiro situation, like, how can you go from Rabiot to Casemiro? It doesn't make any sense. Going for Rabiot in the first place, in my opinion, didn't make too much sense either. But going from Rabiot all the way up the ladder to Casemiro, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. Absolute disappointment. I mean, I would absolutely love the bloke. Casemiro at Manchester United. My word. Yes, please. But fact of the matter is, he's not going to be leaving Real Madrid for Manchester United unless we go and below the wage budget. Look, Anthony, you're saying that maybe Real Madrid wants to drop a few players. You could talk about the fact they've got Tchouaméni. They've got Camavinga. They've still got Kroos and Modric. They've got options. Yeah, you can tell yourself that. But I just don't particularly think there's any chance of him coming to Manchester United. Let me read a couple of your super chats out here. Greetings from Malaysia. Great content. Where's the Ibrahim Sangare rumours? He's the player we need. Proper DM. Shaffer, we've not been going after a proper DM all summer long. I think that's a choice from Eric Ten Hag. He wants somebody he doesn't really want an Edson Alvarez type player at Manchester United. I mean, we all know that we need one of those. Well, we thought about it for a good few years now. Jaden is saying, I think Caicedo is the only right player now, barring Frankie's situation. And we can quickly move on here from Casemiro, and we can talk about Caicedo. Fabrizio Romano here confirming last night, Manchester United have also Moises Caicedo's name in the list as one of the many options for the midfield. Brighton want to keep Caicedo, so it's not an easy deal in case United wanted to proceed. And we go down here, and this is what David Ornstein said last night in his article about the Rabiot deal being finished, because it means the Old Trafford side are in live talks about other candidates, including Casemiro and Caicedo. Now, This one you got far more chance at making. Ultimately, it would be an embarrassing situation for Manchester United, but an embarrassing situation that I would be absolutely fine with, right? If you give me two embarrassing situations. Number one, we don't sign a midfielder. Number two, we sign a midfielder in Moises Caicedo for 50 million, which is about 10 times more than we could have got him for 2 years ago when Solskjaer was going after him. Which one of those situations would I rather have as a fan? It's an easy one. I'd rather us way overpay for Caicedo. He dominated us. He dominated us in this game. I think he scored in the 4-0 win as well, didn't he? He's played very well against us in both games. He's only 20. It's the sort of signing that we should be making. Our scouts should be identifying. And I would rather we have the embarrassment of overpaying for a player like Moises Caicedo rather than not signing a player like him in the first place. But it feels like panic stations. We're having conversations here about Casemiro after the Rabiot deal collapses. And it's not just him. We're having conversations about Moises Caicedo. And now we're here having, as I say, a conversation here. It is Manchester United. And none of us are massively surprised by what is going on. But it doesn't make it any more enjoyable to watch as a fan. Matt, what are you saying here? Saying, morning, Sam, a DCFC fan, but grew up with the United, representing English football, became a fan, always supported United. You rekindled my love for the club. Thank you very much, Matt. I don't know why I've done that. But yeah, United do need our support. United are a club that's getting dragged underground by everything that's going on. Honestly, this summer is wild in all the wrong ways. Never in a million years did I think that we would be coming on here at any point and having a conversation about Elon Musk tweeting about buying Manchester United. It's just that all the stories are the wrong stories at the moment. All the conversations are the wrong conversations. And that comes from a situation where, honestly, my favorite period covering Manchester United here on the channel was that preseason. All those videos we were doing in preseason, focusing on the training and the drills, because I genuinely, for the life of me, looked at my club and I was like, shit, we're actually, you can see where we're going. You can actually see a path and a direction. And to go from that to where we are now, and it seems like everything's on fire, it's devastatingly disappointing. I think that would be the best way to describe it. Properly disappointing, because we could see where we were going. But hey, I don't know. I mean, it's getting to me. I'm sure it's getting to you as well. It's exhausting. But look, it's not just Casemiro we're going after. In Madrid, we're going after João Felix as well. According to Marca out in Spain, I would kind of take that with a pinch of salt. I would say there's definitely a bit more momentum behind the idea of Casemiro, behind the idea of Moises Caicedo, because first and foremost, we need that midfielder. We absolutely need that midfielder. And Steve, you can go down here saying, can't judge preseason when we play teams. No, I'm not talking about performances. You're completely missing the point there, Steve. It was more that everything I saw off the pitch, everything I saw in a training ground, that was a genuine unity among a squad which has just been so divided for so long. And Eric Ten Hag came in and got everybody singing off the same hymn sheet. I didn't really care about the performances themselves were good, but yeah, it was a preseason. There was no pressure. And now that the pressure's come in and the intensity's gone up, everybody's crumbling again. And we're seeing the mental fragility of Manchester United's team coming to the fore. And maybe that wasn't exposed in preseason because, let's be honest, preseason is preseason. It really doesn't matter. Navua saying, Sam, at this point, they need to spend the money and buy a proper midfield and a striker. Also, who would you make captain from the current squad? I have no idea who I would choose as captain anymore. Going into the season, I said that the real options were Ronaldo, Bruno, and David De Gea. I mean, I wouldn't give Ronaldo the armband now. He wants out of the club. I can't possibly vocate the idea of giving a player who wants to leave the armband. Let's not be stupid. And Bruno, again, he's turned into a bit of a ghost. And David De Gea, wow, we talk about David De Gea's form. My word. I don't know who we give it to. I really, really don't. Let me go on and let's move on to the next talking point. Because, yeah, João Felix, you can have a conversation about that. And look, speaking about Ronaldo, I mean, look. Ronaldo sent this yesterday on Twitter. He said this. He sent this message out. He's saying that they will know the truth when there's an interview that coming in a couple of weeks. The media is telling lies. I have a notebook, and in the last few months of the 100 headlines made, only 5 were right. Imagine how it is. Stick with that tip. So, Cristiano Ronaldo, in a couple of weeks, is that going to be his Manchester United player? Is that not going to be his Manchester United player? At this potential moment, we don't know. But I tell you what, if Ronaldo came out and absolutely just pulled out the shotgun and went for the Glazers, build the guy a statue. Build the guy a statue. It's, yeah, man, it's the circus, the absolute circus. John, you're talking about PSV last night. Yeah, Gakpo looked good. He did look good. And also Sangare as well. We were linked with Sangare, but he's just signed a new deal at PSV. He won't be leaving. But Gakpo, let's find out what happens. We've got another 7 days until the second game for PSV and Rangers. And once that is out of the way, we'll know whether or not we can go after him. But yeah, this Ronaldo situation, let's find out what happens in a couple of weeks. Gary Neville has decided to sort of, I suppose, I mean, attack's the wrong word. But Gary Neville's decided to come out and say, look, why does the greatest player of all time have to wait 2 weeks to tell United fans the truth? Stand up and speak now. The club is in crisis and it needs leaders to lead. He's the only one who can grab this situation by the scruff of the neck. I mean, that's true, but at the same time, you know, Gary Neville, man, like, it took you until, what is it, like 6 months ago, really, to speak up against the Glazers. So I think it's understanding that situation before we can start pointing the finger at Ronaldo for the silence. But look, if Ronaldo can come out in this interview and give us more energy that we need against the Glazers, that would be incredible. Because you remember that video I did yesterday, the video I've now decided to make private, and I've explained the reasons behind that. If Joel Glazer is the one that's blocking his exit, let us know that as fans. Let us know where you stand. Let us know your position. I have no idea what he's going to say, Joe, down there. But I suppose we will find out. This fucking football club, man. All we want to do is go into a game at the weekend, have a genuine hope of getting a result, coming out from it. We can discuss the little nuances in the performances, in the wins and the draws and the losses. But instead, we're just, wow. Pure soap opera at the moment, man. Absolute soap opera. And it's just the last thing we all need as fans. But it only is getting more and more intense. And I don't think it's going to slow down. I mean, I don't even know if it slows down when the transfer window is closed. Because right now, I don't have any belief in my football club to get Erik ten Hag what he needs for this season. So I imagine a lot of stories and the narratives around the football team will continue through the season because we've not given Ten Hag what he needs. And I swear to God, if this club ends up getting Ten Hag to walk away and we let Ten Hag leave, man, I'll be fucking furious. I will be furious. Because genuinely, he is a man who can change the identity of our football around if we give him what he needs. Navura saying, Sam, would you rather get all the signings you want or United to be sold? You can only pick one. Easy question. No signings, selling United. I would much rather take the pain of a no signing season if it meant the Glazers left than the idea of the Glazers signing everybody that we need. And that's a simple question as far as I'm concerned anyway. Anything that can get the Glazers out, I want that to happen. That is the thing that is stopping Manchester United from being Manchester United anymore. It's these fuckers, right? I personally, I'll be very surprised if there's any United fans down there who would be like, oh yeah, man, just get us all the signings we need so we can have a successful season. I mean, I'm sure there are some of you, but I would personally be surprised. Anthony down here saying that, Sam, would you blame him for walking away? Remember when Erik ten Hag got the job? Before he got the job, actually, he was asking the club for assurances. And it was effectively Erik ten Hag was interviewing Manchester United at the same time as Manchester United was interviewing Erik ten Hag. He wanted to know exactly about what was going on. And they've just not followed through on it. This summer has not gone anywhere near to plan. Now, Erik ten Hag can take, if you want to say this, Erik ten Hag can take a little bit of responsibility for his pure focus on Frenkie de Jong. Now, we still don't know whether that stubbornness was based on conversations that Ten Hag has had with Frankie, and I've constantly given him the benefit of the doubt because it wouldn't make any sense for us to still be this far down the line unless he had assurances directly from Frankie. And I stand by that. But just even elsewhere, like this Arnautovic situation, this Rabiot situation, it's like there were huge red flags, obvious red flags about Rabiot and about Arnautovic that the club decided to sort of stay away from. And they blew up in the faces. Like it was, who could possibly have seen it coming that Veronique Rabiot, Adrian's mum, and his agent was going to be difficult to deal with. We all saw that, and United, well, now they've seen it, having wasted another 7 to 10 days chasing Adrian Rabiot. As I said, I kind of stand by the idea. I'm not too upset about that, but it leaves us with no midfielders. It leaves us panicking now after Casemiro. And this Casemiro situation will not end with him wearing a Manchester United shirt. And if it does, I'll happily eat my words. And now we're chasing Caicedo as well, a player that we could have signed for. That's in the past. I don't really care about that. We've made previous mistakes, but it doesn't mean that I wouldn't want us to. I'd rather we overpay now and sign Caicedo than not sign anybody at all. But look, I'm going to wrap this one up for today because I don't think I want to speak too much longer on it. I'd rather get the video out on the Glazers out a little bit earlier than us having a conversation here further. I spoke about the Musk situation. And I spoke about the fact that he said he's buying Manchester United, but also he said it was a joke immediately. Right? And that's in the title. It's in the thumbnail. I'm not here trying to spread falsities that Elon Musk is buying Manchester United. But I am saying that adds further spotlight onto the Glazers. Right? Absolute further spotlight onto the Glazers. And this, I'm going to answer this question. I can see loads of you have been talking about Ronaldo down here in the comments. I'm going to end on this. I haven't blamed everything on Ronaldo whatsoever, but I've massively disagreed with how he has gone about handing in the transfer. Look, okay, let's find out in 2 weeks. Maybe he never handed in a transfer request, and all of this has been completely falsified and made up. I suppose we'll find out in a couple of weeks. But I haven't blamed everything on Ronaldo. I've just really not agreed with the timing of it and how it's gone down. And that's my own personal opinion. And the reason I removed that video is because I effectively dismissed everybody else's opinions as just completely and utterly false and wrong. And the idea of an opinion is you can't be wrong, right? It is what it is. I do listen to you sometimes. I do listen to you. And that's why I took that video down. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in today. It's a little bit of a shorter show. I can't get my head around what's going on with Manchester United on a day-to-day basis at the moment. And nothing surprises me anymore. So I have no idea what's going to come tomorrow. But make sure you check out the video that's going out at lunchtime today. I implore you. It really is an important video on the Glazers. And I would ask you to share it. Share it around everywhere. It's the sort of video that every United fan needs to watch. And fans of other clubs. Because it's a bit of an education, that video. Take it easy, everyone.